Hey guys, we made a video recently about suicide, and then some comments on that one led to another one about steering your own life, you know, which direction you want it to go. And on each of those videos we received some comments from some people who said, yeah, but it's impossible for me because, or you know, or maybe they didn't say me, maybe they said it's impossible for some people because, and I think if we say that, if we say it's impossible for me because, then that's true. Game over. Because as soon as you say that, or as soon as you think that, it makes itself come true, because you can't do it if you say you can't. So look, I know it's easier for some people than for others, but there's too many examples of families where you've got two kids in the same family who've been brought up in the same house with exactly the same life and the same health and the same everything, but one's motivated, one motivates themselves and does what they need to do, and the other one doesn't, and one has a successful life and the other one doesn't. And I know many examples of that, and maybe you guys do too, families where, you know, people had exactly the same life but end up in totally different places, or just one ends up happy and one ends up not happy, but the same background. So, and there's also so many examples throughout history of people who started off disadvantaged in many different ways, whether it be their families, whether it be their health, or whether it be, you know, mental problems or whatever it is, and ended up really successful. There's a million examples of that. You know, people that have started off disadvantaged ended up in good positions. So I think too often people say they can't, you know, and I've just seen this so many times. So to those people who feel like they can't, to those people, that's who this video is for. It's for those people who feel it's impossible for them. I'd suggest to you just a few things that might help. One is first of all, resources. If you feel like you just have no idea how to go about it, or just there's nothing you can do, just start by first of all, it depends on what works for you, but books are good, and I'd recommend there's a whole heap of books written by people that are really easy to read but really inspiring. So the ones that come to my mind straight away is the Dalai Lama, the Buddhist Dalai Lama, wrote a book called The Art of Happiness. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're Buddhist or Christian or whatever you are, he's just a cool old dude, you know, and it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. That book doesn't really have any sort of religious stuff in it. All it is just this smart old dude, this wise, happy old dude, talking about life and being happy. And it's really good. It's really easy to read. It's really simply written and really easy to read and inspiring, really inspiring. So if you don't know of any others, try that one. But there's lots of different ones. And while we're talking about wise, cool old dudes, if there's anyone in your life who you find that after you've spoken to them you feel more positive and happy, then spend more time talking to those people. So, you know, whether there's a neighbour. I remember when I was a kid, there was an old lady. She was probably, I don't know, not that old probably, she's probably 50 or 60 or something, but she was really cool. She used to wear a caftan, which is like a, I don't know, it's like a caftan. Those who watch Simpsons, it's like a moo-moo. And she used to smoke a pipe, like a tobacco pipe, big tobacco pipe, you know. She was a strange lady. Now I think about it, she was strange. But at the time, she was great. She was really great and really positive, and when I was a teenager and going through lots of stuff, I used to talk to her, and she was really inspiring and really positive and really switched on. And if there's anyone in your life, whether it's a family member or a friend or someone in your life, maybe there's more than one person, but the people who, after you've spoken to them, you feel positive and you feel good about the world, those are the people you need to spend more time talking to. And the ones who you talk to that after you've spoken to them, you find that you're really depressed, are the people that you should avoid. If you're in a situation where you're feeling unhappy with life, last thing you need is to hang out with people that make you feel more like that. And it happens, because sometimes that happens. And I've seen this before too, where you get one person who's really depressed and the life sucks and life's terrible, and they meet another person that's the same, and they like being with each other because it makes them feel normal. So they start hanging out with each other, but it's not healthy because it's a downward spiral, and you'll never get out of it while you're doing that. So, you know, you have to take, I think the only way to get out of that sort of spiral or that sort of negativity is to take responsibility for it. And I think in all of us there is an adult and a child, you know, in everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. In everybody there's an adult and a child, and the adult has to decide on, or has to make your decisions for you. Because if you let the child make your decisions, your life will go downward, because the child in us makes bad decisions. Now I'll give you an example. The child in us comes, we're hungry, we want dinner. The child in us says, eat ice cream, right? The adult says, no, eat a cheese sandwich, right? Now if we listen to the child, we eat ice cream, you know, 1 hour later we've got a stomach ache because we ate lots of ice cream on an empty stomach. And life's like that. The child says, lie on your bed and cry. And put your head under your pillow and feel sorry for yourself and cry. The adult says, get off your ass and go and do something. And what happens is when we're depressed, it's easy to get into a point where we just listen to the child, and lives go to shit when we listen to the child. Sometimes it's okay to listen to the child. Sometimes we've eaten our cheese sandwich and the child says, I want ice cream. Now the adult in us has to decide, yeah, okay, what the hell, you know? And we eat the bowl of ice cream and the child says, I want another one. And the adult in us has to say, yeah, okay. So it's the adult has to make the decisions, and we have to watch ourselves. It's like we have to be our own teacher, and we have to be our own observer, and we have to watch what we're thinking. The adult in us has to watch what we're thinking and what we're doing. So if you read a book by the Dalai Lama or by somebody else, or you talk to some wise person and you hear some good advice and you think, yeah, that's really true, and the adult in you says, that's really true, that's really true, and the adult in us knows it's true, and the child in us says, no, but I can't do it, it's too difficult. That's where you have to listen to what you're thinking, and you have to listen to how you're reacting, and you have to discipline yourself. And it's the only way to improve ourselves. Whether you're at the edge of suicide, or whether you just want, your life's pretty good actually, but you just want to make it a little bit better. Any sort of self-improvement comes from discipline and listening to the adult. And when you find yourself thinking in that particular way, no, stop. You know, no, I need to do something else. And we need to recognize those things in our life that are positive, and those things in our life that are negative, and those things in our life that work for us, and those things that don't. Now, for me, I find sometimes I get sick of it, depressed, over it, you know, sick of this shit. It happens to everybody. Everybody has downers, that's life, it's a roller coaster. So the key is, when you are on a downer, the key is to know what works for you, to how to fix it. Now, bowls of ice cream and, you know, smoking pot or stuff like that sometimes has its place in life, but we've got to watch that, because if you just keep eating ice cream every time you're depressed, you end up really, really big and fat and unhealthy, and that makes life worse. Or, you know, if you smoke pot too much, you know, it can bring your life to a bit of a standstill too, and that can bring on other problems as well. So again, the adult has to make a decision. Okay, look, we haven't smoked any pot for a week. Okay, come on, let's have one joint. Okay, if the adult makes that decision and it's a good decision, okay, fair enough. If the adult decides to have one more bowl of ice cream, that's fair enough. But I think we need to find healthy things to do that bring us out. So what I was starting to say is for me, I find when I get over it and sick of it and don't want to talk to anybody, and just, you know, it happens, on a downer, I know doing positive stuff works for me. So I go and clean something, or fix something, or make something, or do something productive. You know, tidy my room, or usually outside I find works for me well. I go outside and, you know, I've got an old house, so I can go outside and fix something, or make something, or paint something, and go and do that for an hour, and then suddenly I find I'm singing to myself and sort of rocking around, and I suddenly think, hey, you know, I'm feeling really positive and happy, you know. So we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We need to get the resources in us, so that the you know, through books, or talking to wise people, or watching DVDs, or on the internet. I'm sure there's loads of stuff on the internet, you know, the information that's useful and positive. And again, we know after we've read it or watched it or heard it, we know if it was good for us or not. If after you listen to it or read it or watch it, you're feeling positive and you're feeling good, then that was a good thing. If after it you find you're feeling depressed, don't do it again, you know? And this is what, it's a real self-awareness is necessary. That adult has to be really aware of what's going on and how we're feeling and what we're thinking. Not too much. We don't want to turn ourselves inside out. That's why sometimes having little strategies like, you know, okay, when I'm depressed, exercise is good. That's a good one. Exercise is a good one. Okay, when I'm depressed, going for a ride on my bike is useful, or going to the gym is useful, or going for a swim is useful, or whatever it is, playing tennis, or I don't know, whatever it is for you that makes you feel better. When you find yourself feeling bad, go and do that. You know, it's the only way, you know. As soon as you say, oh, I can't do it, it's impossible, or it's okay for him to say that, his life's really good. Well, yeah, but there's people in my life who've had the same life as me, who I grew up with, who've got shit lives. You know, I don't accept the, oh, you're lucky stuff. That's bullshit. It's we make our lives what they are through our decisions. You know, if I just, when I felt down, instead of going out and doing something positive, if I just lay on my bed with my head under my pillow and cried, my life wouldn't be what it is now. You know, that's all excuses, and, you know, and it's easy to do that, and everybody's got a choice. Again, it proves my point. Those people who are listening to this going, yeah, but it's impossible for me, well, you've just proved my point, because it is impossible for you, because you've just said that. As soon as you say it's impossible, of course you can't do it. You know, I'm on my way to the dojo now to do some martial arts, and it's a classic example where you can do a technique really, really well with a whole heap of different people, and you keep changing and you keep doing the same technique with different people, and you can do it really well. And the teacher's watching and he thinks, wow, that person's doing it really well. And the teacher comes over and grabs you on the arm and you can't do it. And the reason is that the brain goes, oh, he's really, really good. I can't get him. Game over. As soon as you think that, as soon as you think I can't get him, he's too good, game over. As soon as you think I can't do it, you know, I can't have a happy life, I can't do anything, game over. You can't. As soon as you think that, you know, anybody that does anything at all, weightlifting or running or, you know, going to Japan or anything at all in our lives, flying aeroplanes, whatever it is that we want to do, you have to be convinced that you can do it if you want to do it. As soon as you think you can't, you can't. It's impossible. It's just the way it is. It's just the way we're geared. The brain is the control panel. The brain is the controlling system for what happens in our life. You know, think negative things. Oh, that's just my life. My life's always sucks. Everything always goes bad for me. Yep. Because you're programming it to. You know, there's shit that happens to us, but there's shit that happens to everybody. If you listen to positive, successful people, they've had shit happen to them. You know, I've had health stuff, I've had massive debt, I've had all sorts of shit, really bad shit, some of it. It happens, everybody has it. Everybody has shit in their life. And those people sitting there saying, oh yeah, but nobody's had a bad life like me, bullshit. Bullshit. There's lots of people who've had a worse life than you. You know, there's a video on YouTube somewhere of a guy who's got no arms and no legs. He's got little feet that stick out the bottom, but he's got no legs and no arms. And he's a motivational speaker. Now, your life is easier than his, but he's really positive. You know, he's amazingly positive. Attitude. And there's a million stories like that. You know, Stephen Hawkins in his wheelchair that can't do anything. Really, really successful, happy guy. And I mean, this is about being happy. This isn't about having money or... I mean, this all comes too. If you have a positive attitude and you do what you need to do. If you listen to the adult, you know, I want to lie here and eat ice cream with my head under the pillow, and the adult says, no, you need to go to work. You need to go get a job. You know, if you listen to the adult, then you can have a successful life as well, and you can do the money thing and the going to Japan thing, or whatever it is your thing is, whatever it is that your fantasy is. You can do that too. But the most important thing is the happiness, because if you haven't got that, all the rest of it's a waste of time. So, you know, we just have to be grown up about it, and pay attention to what we're thinking and what we're feeling, and not give in to that child. You know, because sometimes that child's good to listen to. The child's fun, right? The child says, you know, okay, look, haven't had any pot for 2 weeks, so I'll have a little bit of pot and I'll eat chocolate ice cream and I'll watch Simpsons. Sometimes listening to the child is fun, right? But the adult has to decide. The child says, I want to do this, I want to smoke pot and watch Simpsons. And the adult has to say yes or no. You know, maybe the adult says, no, look, every time you smoke pot, the next day you get really depressed. You know, or if you smoke pot again, anytime you do that, you always end up having too much. Well, in that case, the adult should say no. So the adult has to decide. You know, the adult has to decide. When the child says, I want to stay in bed today, I don't want to get out of bed, the adult has to decide if that's a good idea or not. Well, you've been busy all week, you worked your ass off, you deserve it, okay, stay in bed all day. That's fine. But if you've been in bed all day, every day for the last week and you're depressed, no, it's time to get off your ass and get out and do something. So, you know, we've got a choice. We have many choices. It's not a choice. It's a series of choices every day. Every day we get a series of choices that we have to make, and what we decide results in our life. You know, the end result of what we decide right from the beginning. You know, and doesn't mean you can't change anything. You can change your life today. You can change your life anytime you want to. You can change the direction of your life by changing your decision making. You know, okay, well, I was heading towards saving money to go to Japan or doing that thing, but no, I'm starting to think that's not worth it. I'm starting to think that's a better plan. Or, you know, I've been focusing on doing that, but I'm finding that's not making me happy, and I think I need to do something else, and I think that's better for me, so I'll do that. So, you know, we've got to take responsibility, listen to the adult. Sometimes listen to the child. Okay, listen to the child, but the adult must make the decisions. That's the most important thing. The adult has to make the decisions. Now, is that a good thing for me? Is that going to have a good result? You know, and it's not necessarily directly for us either. Maybe it's doing some kind thing for somebody else. Maybe the adult says to the child, no, don't be selfish. Do that nice thing for that other person. So please, guys, try it. Find the things that make you feel positive and happy, and find the things that are good for you. You know, there's a million good books on this topic. Talk to the positive people. I think that's really important, is that the positive, happy people, talk to them. Listen to them. Listen to what they say. You know, whether that be people in your life, family, friends, television, wherever you find the positive, happy, successful people, listen to them and listen to what they say and learn from them. You know, learn from them. Don't just shut off and go, no, I can't do it. They can do it because they're lucky, I can't do it. That's bullshit. That's just an excuse. It's because it's easier. It's easier to lie on your bed with your head under your pillow and cry than it is to get off your ass and go and do something. That's the child making the decision. The child goes, no, it's too hard. Bullshit. It is hard. Look, it is easier to lie with your head under the pillow, that is true. And it's harder to get off your ass and go and do something. But it's better. If you get off your ass and go and do something that's going to make you feel better, then you'll be happy. Being happy is good. Being happy is is easier than being sad. Being sad's hard, right? Being depressed and sad and I can't do it and my life sucks is hard. Being happy is good, right? Being happy feels great. Who doesn't enjoy being happy? Huh? Whatever it is for you, find it. Happy and healthy is what we've got to aim for. That's the key. Happy and healthy. You know, nothing negative, none of that bullshit. Happy and healthy. You know, you can do it. You don't need anybody, and no one else can stop you. All that shit, all those excuses about parents and everybody else is stopping me doing it, that's all bullshit. Some people get in our way. We just have to work out how to get around them. But we can do it. We can do it. Again, there's a million examples of this where people with the same family have gone in different directions because of their choices. So, listen to your adult. Listen to your adult. Make happy and healthy decisions for you. Please. More videos coming soon.